about GROONBOWL. We're a little bit late this week, so we're going to do both weeks, and we're going to do the team review. Let's get ready for some midseason madness.
Yep.
Here with Kyle and Tim, and I got Prozac too.
Hello.
Yep. We're going to do week 4 and week 5. Let's see. Week 4 is Just Be Yours Elf and the Goblins.deck. And then week 5. Wow. Okay, we're in Wales Conference.
We're in Wales.
Hello.
We're only short 2 games total for the week to roll over again. We're like getting way ahead, so that's why we're doing 2 in a row.
Yep.
And we're also going to
GROONBOWLs tend to do that.
Keep playing your games fast. That's great.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we're all nerds.
That is accurate. All right.
Let's just talk about games real quick. We've got like 18 of them to talk about, so let's do it pretty quick.
All right. Already Dad versus Unpunchable Things. Oh man, look at that star player stealing the MVP, stealing all the SPP.
Gets the other one. Who died here?
I think it was just a no-name skeleton.
Okay. Man, that's the only SPP for Kimry here too was on Alibaba.
Yep.
Misery.
He's had a rough season.
Yes, he has. Oh man, he succeeded both of his stabs, all 2 of them.
Willifray manages to get some development on his elves.
Yeah. Oh, what do we get any sweet dev here? I didn't.
We'll check team dev later.
Woefully unprepared this week.
We're gonna check team dev later. I think we're probably gonna go through a lot of the teams and have a look at how they're doing.
A lot of stuff has changed this week. Some important players have died. Some important players have gotten levels. Some important players have been purchased.
Yep. All right. We've got Mighty River Followers versus Salmonella Express. Second Crocs level. I think this is the one we spent like half an hour talking. I think my recommendation was on Break Tackle, but we'll see where that goes later. Or now. I can click on it now.
Yeah, yep. Break Tackle. This is sweet.
Sweet. And he managed to 2-1 the Vampire. Nerd's Luck is good, but apparently not that good.
Hey man, vampires have some built-in fail case. Like, he can only be lucky so much.
Yeah,
he saved all his luck for week 5.
6% Vol possession. That is percentage.
Yeah, this was not a great game for the poor Vamps. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't like really eat his boys very much in the first half, but things just fell apart in the second half.
Well, I see in his SPP that he has SPP MVP on a loner thrall, and that's never good in vampires when you have loner thralls.
Yeah.
All right, Tim, you played Just Be Your Elf. Tell me about that game.
What did you do to these poor elves?
Rats are bullshit.
You don't say.
Also, I'd like to point out that he had 23 armor breaks against me.
I see that. By the way, this is our new member of the league. Welcome, Hetero Sukara. He fought his way to get into this and then just got bodied by rats.
Yeah, so he got timmed on his entrance. Rylon's team dropped here, and he's been replaced by these wood elves that we made fight for their spot.
Pro elves.
Yeah, whatever. Shitty AV7 exploding bags of SVP.
Yeah. And basically, like, he failed a couple of key things, and I was able to take the ball and run away.
I'm impressed that he got 57 blocks succeeded on you. That part's neat.
Yeah, I got punched a lot this game.
Good.
He's got these 2 block linos.
Good.
Normally you would take dodge on those linos, but
I don't think it's the worst in this div. Like,
there's
there's guys that you could just body up in this div, man.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not actively bad. It's just not the usual kind of cookie cutter build.
It doesn't have a chaos team he's got to run away from.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's interesting about this game is if you look at the SPP, even though Elves lost like 3-1, they only have 1 less SPP earned. So it wasn't a really bad game for the Elves. It was just losing to rats is normal.
Game.
Yep. Seems solid.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is. This looks like Elves had a bad drive and the rats took it from them, and that's how this became 3-1 instead of 2-2.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, that's exactly what happened.
Yep. All right. Who's next? Noir versus
Jimmy and Bus.
Yep.
Another one for the Brits.
Yeah. I think Brett's seem to be in their sweet spot right here, and Jimmy's getting the results he needs.
If I'm not mistaken, we beat up Bus's team pretty bad in this game too. Maybe that's the next one. I don't remember.
It's the next one. You know, he goes into the next one with an extra guy. He's not going to be going to any more games with extra guys.
It's like more than 100 blocks in Bretsky.
Spoilers.
This is a punchy game.
Huh. Dark Elves get more blocks succeeded. That's impressive. How many ejections?
They got 4 block blitzers.
Yeah, no. Bus
And
is
that
leading
Witch
into
Elf
that.
has Lodge Step or something.
That's exactly what it
I
has.
don't think he has but 3 blitzers in this game. He buys his 4th one after this game, and it immediately dies in the next game.
Yep.
I think he's right
to
on that one, but yeah, spoilers.
That's it. Yeah.
Speaking of buying
they're
things
blur together.
and laws,
And then,
Undead versus you.
I got the shit beat out of me.
Good. Good.
It went like drastically bad in the first like 3 turns, and then this game turned into Runaway with Killer Man and the 2+ Agi boys.
Because I see there were 3 expulsions. He was trying to get rid of anything that hits the ground.
Also, 22 armor breaks.
Jimmy's face ejected 2 people by itself, and the 3rd expulsion was a saw.
Oh,
Sounds good.
baby. 87% ball possession from the Undead.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, basically, it just like went bad on turn 2, and then his drive was him beating me to death for 8 turns, and then I was like down guys and had to basically 2 turns. So then he gets to beat me to death for 7 more turns. And
Impressive that you 2-turned it.
I mean, I have a pair of plus Agi boys. It's not actually that hard on my team.
Fair enough. All right. That was week 4, albeit kind of quick.
Let's go look at week 5 real now. I mean, there's more happened here. At least more points were scored.
Holy shit! All right, so we don't have Zushio versus Heterosukara, or however you say his name.
Hey, Roto.
Hey, I'm bad.
Sukara.
Sorry, I'm bad at names. Thank you for fixing it. This is why I asked. But we got 4-0 Vamps. Holy shit!
Yeah, buddy. Look
This
at
game,
Vamps, dude.
He vamped all over Jimmy.
Nerded all over Jimmy.
I watched this game and holy crap, was it like anything like the Bretts got a little too cocky at the start of the game, but nothing too much. It's like, here, playing against Vamps, and they got punished, and after that, they just failed everything they tried to do.
And look at this dead lineman get the MVP here.
Yeah, that's not a dead lineman.
I mean, he's definitely center of the line, get punched to death mode now.
Yeah, that's the bait.
But like he's not dead.
Technically,
he just doesn't know it.
I love that he manages to 4-0 with 28 blocks succeeded. It's just click on the football, click on the end zone, right?
How many hypno gazes? Only 7 actually.
Nerd doesn't use it very much.
Yeah,
he chainsawed
pretty good this game. I forgot he had a saw.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, that can't have helped.
Man, that is.
I mean, so Brett Prime versus Vamps apparently still a matchup.
Well,
yeah, honestly, any game with Vamps has the potential to be just nuts.
When they fail hard, and when they win hard. Yep.
All right.
When they win, they 4-0 you.
Speaking of winning hard,
let's talk about some elves and some elves. Or excuse me, this undead and elves. My bad.
I
always think top deckers is monikers elves for some reason.
That ghoul is doing a real good impression. That now is a Blodgard ghoul. Yep.
Ooh, yes, he is.
That's nasty. Guard on ghouls is really strong.
More expulsions. Lots of expulsions in this week.
Voyager is a believer in the boots. Part of the reason he likes undead.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Voyager is
positioning too.
Voyager is a scary guy to be on the ground against.
Yes, he will kick him.
I'm impressed that Wilfray is able to convert his 6% ball possession into a point. Good on him.
Exactly.
I mean, that's all Wood Elves need.
Yeah, he did pretty good. 39. He only gave up 39 blocks, which is not so bad. He was able to give in. Yeah, he even put an injury on the board. It's just, it seems like Undead was able to actually hit him pretty hard.
Yeah, 11 SPP on this ghoul. This ghoul got guard last game.
School got the MVP and the both touchdowns.
And both touchdowns, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's how you power him up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what ghouls do. They're a biholo SPP, but they're a solid piece there. They're like a line elf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
good,
great
good
enough
ghouls.
SPP to put on this guy. Like, you don't really care about putting any more on him, but now he's a perfect ghoul.
Ghouls are good pieces. I don't get why people hate on ghouls. Yeah, they blow up easily, but they do their job, and they're so important for the team.
They're just solid pieces. They're not like super flashy, and they do explode. But until they explode, they do their job. They put in work, and
especially with Blodge and Guard, that guy's a nightmare.
Yeah, no, that guy is now, as a level 3 ghoul, a nightmare.
That's undead, right? Like, I'm learning this season that undead, you have the downside of not having any true stars, but on the other hand, you've got, like, 8 really solid pieces.
All your boys turn into stars, yeah.
And, I mean, the mummies are arguably stars. They're pretty strong.
I mean, they don't really turn into stars until you get block on them right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's the thing about this league, is you get to start with that.
Start with it.
And, alright, so now we have another shootout, or insane match. You 3-0'd the lizards.
I beat up some lizards.
How many skinks did you hit? Did you hit all of his skinks?
I actually don't remember how many skinks it was. I got into places where I could beat up just anything and everything, and the man advantage kind of
See,
on.
It says
the snowball is real.
You got 2 KOs, 2 injuries, but you took 2 KOs, 2 injuries, it seems.
I did. I mean, it's just like in the early pieces, I got to remove
times.
some guys, and it let me pull ahead, and then I sort of take his drive from him at one point, and that's how we end up with the 3-0.
Okay, so the lizards didn't actually get off that badly, but they.
This was much more of a game than it looks like from a 3-0.
Yeah. Oh hey, apparently Agi 4 meant you put points on me. Neat. Voyager also has Agi 4.
Yes.
You both leveled in this game.
Also, I have to say, you have a great stadium name. The Changing Table.
Yeah, right.
Great. Alright, and now we have the one that I actually watched, because it was live the other night. We have the 2-0-3-0. The match started with Dark Elves up 2-0. First half. It puts a bunch of rats asleep. Rats get up and just go, no, we're just going to kill some Dark Elves, and proceed to convert 3 points in the second half.
He does, in fact. Yeah. Tim thinks the sky's falling by turn 8 and then 3-0s him in the second half.
Hey, to be fair, on turn 8, that sky looked real close, okay?
It did. But I went to bed at the end of the first drive because I was like, oh, yeah, the Elves just won this game and I'm tired. And I just discovered that the Rats won when you guys said, oh, team is undefeated. I was like, fuck no, he lost yesterday, didn't he?
No.
Rats are bullshit.
Tim did some
Tim shit. And, turns out strip ball is really fucking good.
Yeah,
especially in this league where nobody has sure hands.
Yeah, man, got strip ball last game and it paid dividends in this one.
Yeah, if there was an elf that had the ball to be blitzed by that man, that ball is in the ground, then a gutter runner has it. Because Agi 5 gutter runner just doesn't particularly care about tackle zones at all, ever, for any reason.
No, he's really not worried about
Just remember, wrestle strip guy is like 70% to knock the ball out of their hands on an uphill.
He got 11 SPP on that because he got 2 touchdowns and an interception. Turns out Agi 5.
3 touchdowns and an interception.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, didn't even get the MVP.
Yep, that went to Goblin War Chief, which is good because he never makes any blocks ever.
He is
always
only
like
guard boy.
3 good blocks away, which I mean he could get, but he's not likely to real soon.
Yeah,
just put some touchdowns on, obviously.
I mean,
in games where you're not as pressured to convert the win.
Yeah, this was one hell of a shootout.
And poor Bus, he lost 2 unleveled linos and his new blitzer. So it's not the end of the world, but it's rough.
Died in this game.
It means he's always going to be floating liners. He's in that part of the elf life.
Exactly.
Yep. At least it's not as bad for Delves, just because their guys are all AV8.
Yep.
So you don't quite have the revolving door linemen like you do on Elves and Wood Elves.
It's not good, though.
Let's take that as our opportunity to segue over and look at teams.
Yeah, perfect.
Let's just do them in order that they're here in the list. So
Vampires. Believes in nerd vampires. See,
look at this plus agi thrall. Didn't know about that thing.
That's definitely a thing.
That said, Nerd has 4 vampires, and he's in the revolving door of thralls.
Yeah, but that's vampires.
Well, yeah, but usually people go 3 vampires if they're in the revolving door. He is in rough shape
He
as a
started
result.
with 4 vampires.
Yeah, well, he got that 4-0. That definitely fucking happened.
Yeah, no, that helped him a lot. It put dodge on both of these vamps, right? He might have had one already, but like it's still like these 2 blodge vamps are both getting close to another level, and that's looking hot.
Yeah, he had
And this
one
10 out of
already.
16 block guy is great too.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not like it's going to be hard for him to just buy up some new trolls. They're cheap as dirt.
Yeah, I mean, once he
just needs to get some money.
He's good, yeah. He's been having to like buy an APO or a reroll or something here and there.
Yeah, that is actually probably a good use of his money, like 4 rerolls, the APO. Now he just wants to buy Thralls forever and like 1 more vamp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe a vamp eventually. I think I'd want to get like probably Thralls 12 and 13 before I bought another vamp.
14. I would go to 14 Thralls then the vamp.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Because you never actually get vamp 6.
No, vamp 6 is a pipe dream.
Yep. Alright.
You hire vamp 6 if you have a bunch of extra money and 2 of your vamps are missed next game.
Makes sense. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a sweet team. It's coming. Both Rylon and El Cow have dropped here, so let's look at this even tinier team. And
oh my god.
Yep.
Well,
this is what Wood Elves look like, though.
Ooh, that is 2 miss next game War Dancers. Wow. Holy shit!
And one of them's minus
AV. Is the other one just missed next game?
Yeah, the other one's just missed next game.
Brutal.
That's man, that's tough. I didn't know this happened.
Oh, poor guy.
And then he gets to fight me next.
Oh god.
You are gonna Tim all over him.
We'll see.
I hope he induces an elven chainsaw and eats your rats. I hope he induces an elven chainsaw.
Wilfrey, kill him, please.
Please don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to keep this minus AV war dancer, right? Like, he's no longer very good at his job, but he's a touchdown away from another level.
And you're also at a point where you don't have the money to buy a new one.
Replacement for like 3 games anyway.
Yep.
And at that point, the season's over. So,
well, halfling armor is rough though.
Yeah, man, that's tough. 61% to break him.
This is a cool thing, but this is why Rylon bought a tree.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one question, like, wouldn't like in his case, what's better? A war dancer that's gonna like break as soon as someone sneezes on him with tackle, of course, or like 2 line elves?
I think it's still this war dancer, honestly.
Yeah, this war dancer is just has the potential.
This war dancer just doesn't get to do obnoxious behind the lines war dancer shit anymore. He just gets to play like a normal elf blitzer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the other war dancer is also real close to a level, so that one's really good. This is still a team.
It's going to be really sad when this guy like jumps too close to the sun and explodes when he hits the ground.
He is the sun. All right.
Yeah, man. This team could have some real issues after next week if things don't go at least kind of well.
This is one of those teams that's just in a place where it's kind of rough. Like he also just hasn't gotten the Lino
Godspeed.
It's Wood Elves. Like they either work and win everything, or they just die hard.
Yeah, it's AV7 life.
AV7 no skills. Like if they had dodge or if they had block, those 2 things make you die a lot less. But they don't.
That said, we still have 10 4-agi linemen, 1 with guard, 1 with kick, and a catcher. So like he can win games with that team.
Oh yeah.
No, you can still win games. It's just
we get like obscene inducements every time too.
What else?
To like have a 12th elf every game is like what's the good war dancer? You can just induce another war dancer.
Or Jordell or one of those guys.
Like the thing about
the Hypnogaze guy, right?
I think so.
The thing about Wood Elves is every one of the pieces is effectively a positional anyway. So the thing it takes you a bit to realize with them is your positionals are great, but your line elves are also great.
Yeah, no, I think that like Wood Elves, why they have such an absurd winning percentage in like all the statistics is because a broken Wood Elf team can still win games.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. We have lizards
Let's talk
up
about
next.
some lizards.
This team seems to be
This is
doing
the Sign
okay.
Cubes lizards, and they are coming along.
He finally has the full roster. Finally has those
Yep.
last two Saurus. And the most important thing, only one development on the skink. Only one sidestep. That's how you want it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Also, holy shit.
like,
Look at that. Look at that on the Crocs. Look at that thing.
Oh,
yeah, buddy. Look at the second double on this Croxagore.
I'm really glad I played him like third.
That thing is a perfect Crocs. Like, you want this team in a long league. Like, you're trying to feed those last two Saurus touchdowns to get some more levels, but like,
Yeah, that's the thing I would suggest doing. Play a little Saurus ball when you can.
I don't
Yeah,
want to play
god, if this
against
was a
this guy.
Rel Saurus team or Lizards team,
This is-
this would be
Yeah, this is great development for what. Like, if this was a Season 1 Rel team, this would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. As it stands, though, you're happy that you get to play the back half of your season with a team that's in really great shape. And
Thing
like,
that I would suggest is fire these two cheerleaders.
yup.
Mm-hmm.
He also wants money for a reroll eventually.
That's his next purchase. You also can like get away with one less skink than you have, but one of them's gonna die. Just wait for that to happen.
Yup.
Honestly.
You want to just save the money because eventually you'll get in a skink death spiral, and that's never a good feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Don't waste the money. You just like you probably don't rebuy the first skink that dies here.
Yep.
Nope.
I mean, I get why he did it because he had. He
Oh no,
needed to
these
get
are all
the Sauruses.
OG skinks. He just bought
Yeah.
two Sauruses to fill these slots.
I'm impressed that they didn't die yet. Like that means he's protecting his skinks real good.
He's had very good skink armor.
Yep.
Oh,
Also,
no, he did not always protect his skinks so good. He's just
Yeah,
been
he didn't.
lucky on
He's
death.
learning, so he
Exactly.
didn't really
He's pretty fresh
know.
to lizards. And
Yeah.
as I can tell you, when you're playing lizards and you're pretty fresh to lizards, you can get pounded.
Mhm.
yes, I've experienced that. That said, I don't.
Everyone.
I don't hate keeping sidestep skink. Like skink development is mostly bloat, and like
Yeah,
you
still
fire
need
this
it to start,
guy.
though.
Yeah, you need
Yep.
it to start. You fire this guy if he levels up again. But like sidestep and diving tackle are the two things you
No,
want on
you
skinks.
fire him if he levels up and doesn't roll doubles or a stat or something.
Yes.
Exactly. Like you don't really want two normal skinks. They're getting kind of bloaty.
Yep.
Because that costs like almost two skinks, and you'd really just rather have two skinks.
Like I like running like a roster of 12 or 13 on lizards. 12 is probably
Exactly.
better,
You want
but-
like a bench because you need to have skinks, and you need to get to the second half with skinks, and like man advantage becomes a real issue with lizards a lot of times. Like your line can hold up and your skinks can disappear, and then your line doesn't do anything.
Yep.
Vice versa.
if your line disappears, you're just in bad shape. But he finally has
Exactly.
his line.
Yeah,
Alright.
man. This lizard line looks great now that it's all here.
All right. Let's see what's next. Oh,
It's kind of
this.
shitter.
Well, at
Shit.
least he's giving everybody a wizard
220k money.
or a chainsaw.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to incinerate
This
that.
team's
extra
actually
70.
only 1410.
No, you just buy spare goblins, and by that I
No
mean
way. He just fires that money like every time.
Yeah, I don't need 100. Like, I don't need 200k in the bank. I
no.
don't
I
need this extra team value either. Like 2 spares is fine.
Exactly. I
Like,
think
this
that you want
balance
to keep your
higher than
TV
one
pretty
go.
trim as rats.
Yeah,
yeah, I
You
suppose
just
that's
expect
true.
that turn 14 you're down people. Like that's just how you play.
Mhm. Yeah. That's what happens to rats. Is
That's
they
right,
get,
because it
you know,
doesn't matter if you're down
3
people because you
people
have an
injured
Agi 5
by,
gutter.
you know,
Yeah, this Agi
Yep.
5 block gutter is a fucker.
Do
And
you,
so is this
beautiful.
wrestle strip gutter, and so is this blodge step gutter, and so is
So is this
claw mighty
one
blow
of 6
tackle
SPP
guy.
gutter?
Yeah, so is the one of 6 SPP gutter. Turns out,
You, I think you fire the thrower and just replace it with a line rat.
and when he
I-
dies, he becomes a lino.
I think you should buy a rat ogre and name him Squee.
I agree.
Yes, do that.
And then every time he dies,
No.
buy him again.
No,
Do it.
I'm not doing that.
I think you should fire your Apo.
Yep.
I ain't
Okay,
used to
get it out.
fire Apo.
I think that's
Norse don't need no Apo. A
It
bunch
is
of strong
already
boys.
it has already saved stat ups this season.
I almost want to jump to your team because that's the perfect transition. Let's do it.
Oh, my
We're gonna go
input
back
is
to Bus
say
afterwards.
We're almost
both
there.
Pile
Let's talk
Driver
about Bus.
and War Chief.
All right, let's go.
Let's not cut Bus short. This won't take about a second.
No, I was gonna go back. Bus's team is great. It's just a little banged up.
Yeah, I'm just saying it won't take us but a second to talk about Bus's team because it's super banged up and it's like the end of the snake riding for him.
Like,
so I have a question here. Do you keep minus AV Blitzer
No.
because you're like never gonna get to buy another Blitzer?
you keep him until you get to buy another
like
Blitzer.
3 games to buy another Blitzer, which is
You'll get there.
Still there's still time in the season for that. It'll be like the end of the season, but he can still make playoffs with this team.
No, this team's totally fine still. He's like the Blitzer was just like a fancy lino. It just means that his Blitzer is a fancy lino from now on. Like this fourth Blitzer. Like it will never have time to develop into a real boy.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But
You just treat it as
it's
a
still
plus.
better than just a random lino.
It is.
That's why I'm saying like you probably keep this guy for at least the game after his missed next game, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You keep him for 1 or 2
you're
games.
Not firing him. Like you're firing minus strength lino.
Oh yeah, that's dead.
Lino's just better. But my argument here is whether or not this block AV7 boy is better than a loner.
Oh no, I think you totally keep him.
You keep him.
Yeah. That's my argument. And like
I
if
think that's
someday
what Bus
you
is
roll
doing
a pair
as well.
of 6s in a row and you can buy another one, that's great. You just like don't put any SPP on him because you already want to shove SPP on these guys that are close to levels anyway.
Yeah.
Get like this level on these 3 SPP linos and like the level on these 2 blitzers at the top. Like just put more skills on this team and it doesn't matter if you don't have that 4th blitzer.
You never get the last Witch Elf, and that's okay because you only really need one Witch Elf.
That's true.
Like he starts with this block Witch Elf instead of his 4th blitzer, and then it's just like it's basically what a Dark Elf team is anyway. It just has a fancy blitzer.
This is still solid.
I think this team's great. I mean, it's low TV. He gets some inducements. I mean, I guess this is actually like 1340, but
yeah, which is fine.
Let's talk about me then.
Yep. Speaking of Apos saving people, you amazingly haven't lost a lot of things.
So Voyager in like the game after he got plus Agi definitely caught a rock and died.
So speaking of things, he's leveled. What are you giving him?
He is. I don't know. He rolled 1-2, so he's just got normals. There's a few things I'm thinking about. Like this guy could just be like a Fend boy.
Yep.
Or he could become like a pro guy. Like I was looking at pro kinda.
I like Fend because if you turn him into a receiving threat, he just
also just take accurate and become like a real boy passer since I have a receiver.
Oh god.
I don't think pro is very good because you already have pass. I think it's probably between like accurate or, and I hate to say this, considering I still have to fight you, but sure hands.
Yeah, I was looking at sure hands, but then I'm like just taking sure hands for the strip ball guys. But that's their consideration because there's like 3 strip ball guys in the league that I still have to fight.
Like you have to fight.
Sure hands is what I would do. It's just because instead of 1 in 6 of failing to pick the ball, now it's 1 in 36, which is good in itself. It's reliable as fuck, and you don't have to worry about like all the strip ballers that are all around. I really would get sure hands on this guy.
That's legit.
And by the way,
of course, this we rolled doubles on the killer here. This last level, he got dodge.
Oh man, that's actually perfect. Like as much as you eventually wanted piling on,
he was gonna get piling on, but
whatever. Dodge means that he lives to it.
Exactly.
Speaking of maybe dead pieces, is Hiroshia dead?
I'm sort of undecided about that. I mean, I have a week to just kind of float it. I think he might survive just so that I can buy a 12th lino and have a bench, and then he just gets to be my front and center lineman from now on.
Yeah, I think you keep him because even though Norse linos are cheap, you don't have like just tons of money lying around. So like, it's not like you're me sitting over here with $200K in the bank and it's like, fuck, what am I gonna spend this money on?
Right, because I've been having to buy positionals and shit. Like,
yeah. Well, I think you should wait after your next game because even though movement 5 is not that bad, you can put it on the LOS. Exactly. You don't want him getting MVPs though.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks for him to get.
Yeah,
an
but
MVP,
I mean that's the same for like
whatever.
a random loner.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
also true of all of these 6 movement linemen.
Oh yeah, but it's better to have MVP on a 6 movement lineman than on a 5 movement lineman.
Sure.
And if you fire him, it's not like you're gonna have a loner because you already have.
And like, if I roll even, well, I guess if I roll average, I probably get to buy 2 linos after next game, which potentially is what happens. Because right now he is my 12th, and I'm thinking about just buying a lino now to have a 12th again, and then I get to reevaluate after next.
So
yeah, that's probably the best choice.
I have an important question. When did Ofiger Duftak join Groon? Is he like one of those early period Groons?
I don't actually remember why I got this guy. That's weird. I must have bought a guy. I must have bought a lino after a game by accident or something.
Anyway,
Pro tip: I almost never am sober when I play my games.
You and Crate, and occasionally Rusty.
That's the Norse way.
I also have to ask.
I actually don't remember where the hell this guy came from.
Good. The actual question I had is: are you aiming to buy that second runner?
Only maybe.
I don't think he needs
He actually has 0 matches played. So I must have bought him after my... When the hell did I get this guy? I don't even know.
This is great.
What the hell, man?
You've had nerds enough for a while.
No. He means he's still on Ofiger Duftak.
That was the last guy I bought, actually.
Yeah.
He's played 3 matches.
I must have just like started this team with this guy and not realized it. I have to go look up a screenshot. No, because he's got 0 games played.
Oh no, this guy, you must have bought him after your last match.
To replace Horatia.
Just as a guy, and you forgot to name him.
Lose a lino? I did lose a lino here, I think. I don't remember. I must have bought this guy by accident. You're probably getting fired for a new name, friend.
Yep. It's true. Alright, next team.
Let's move on.
Voyager's top deckers of... Oh god, that's right. He's the undead that's actually doing fine. Because he is...
The attacked undead, yes.
Yeah. Okay, yep. One of those mummies has guard. That's what you do. One of his white has guard. Yep. One of his zombies has guard. Yep. Yes. One of those ghouls has guard. Yep. This is perfect development for this undead. This is what you want.
That's exactly where this team wants to be.
By the way, Voyager
is just a solid player, and he's got undead, which is a solid team, and he knows how to use them. Like, it's scary.
He knows how to set a frenzy trap like a pro.
Bonfire.gif is on the team now, by the way, Tim.
Yeah, that happened.
Yep, I noticed that.
And he needs to buy that 4th ghoul, and he's got the money for it, and still have 150 in the bank after he does it. So I think that's
you can literally just buy it here. I don't know.
No, you do.
I don't know that he even needs it.
You want it. You keep the 4th ghoul on the sidelines so you can replace them against the teams that need the zombies. And in the other case, you want that movement. That is still a movement 7 guy, and that really matters against, like, wood elves.
Yeah. So now I propose to you, he could also just be 1320.
Yeah, I don't like that nearly as much. I want that 4th ghoul. Like, if you want to go down, you just fire a zombie and go down to 12 dudes.
So now, I am somewhat speaking out of my ass here about the 4th ghoul thing because I'm sort of comparing it to what would be 4th Pestigore, and it sort of feels like at that point you'd almost rather have another zombie. Yeah, I get it.
It's not the same at all.
Yeah, because he's so much more mobile.
And it's also the fact that zombies can't pick up the ball, as bad as
they can, but they're not good at it.
Okay, they can pick up the ball, but you're gonna put your whites on ball duty before you put your zombies on ball duty. And you don't want to put your whites on ball duty because they're one of your 4 guys that's good at hitting people.
Exactly, they're busy being pillars. I mean, the team's sweet. It's developing great. I mean, buy a ghoul.
Yeah.
He's very foul. He's very foul heavy. So I don't know. What happens is I think he's having 3 goals right now. It's enough for his team. He needs to get a little bit more levels on the 2 goals that have no levels.
That's how I feel about it.
I agree.
You always want to field these 2 no-skill goals that you have, and right now, when you're just constantly fouling, I'd almost rather have 13th player be a zombie.
I don't hate that either.
Yeah, I agree that.
But yeah, I don't know. I like 14 players just because you want to eventually develop your zombies. And because you're floating the cash anyway, that's a big part of it. And I don't think incinerating money is that great of a plan when you're going to need to buy ghouls at some point.
But that's regen teams, though. You just always have more money than you need.
And like since this is not like open ladder, so he being high TV is not that much of a problem. He doesn't have to trim his team that much, so he can definitely like have 14 players here and not be a problem.
That's totally fair. And he's also like the punchy man in the div too. So
it's
him and Kimry.
This is what you call the problem of having a plethora of riches. All right.
First world problems.
Yeah. Speaking of a plethora of riches, these are 1430 Bretonians.
Yeah, Brett
With
Prime.
0 money.
Uh-huh.
What does his team look like now?
He just has a lot of lino for kicking people.
When did Buffalo Bill get plus strength?
Oh dear.
It has to have been in the last 2 weeks. He's gotten a lot of SPP if that's the case.
And this is what makes me like I think that Brex can work, but it's when I look at this team, I don't think like, oh yeah, this is a 1430 team.
So you look at this team and you're like, this is a 1280 team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, wow. Yeah, you're not kidding. Man, fucking Bretts.
Exactly. He's got like the highest TV in the division, and his team is great and all, but it's look at all of this wasted TV just all over the place.
Well, I mean, that strength is good. Like,
So it looks like he got it after he played Zushio.
okay.
Which was when?
Last week.
3 weeks ago.
Huh.
And yeah, apparently I just missed this
3
level
matches.
last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Well, this is why we go back and have days like today.
Exactly. I need to figure out how to set up BB2 League Manager for GROONBOWL.
It's true.
This
Okay.
team's great. I mean, what do you try and focus on here?
Fouling.
Do we try and put another level on this strength guy? Because
Fouling.
he doesn't have strength access or anything,
No,
so
he
he
doesn't.
has to take like a general or an agi.
Yeah,
So what do you put on him? Even just tackle?
Sure hands.
Yeah.
Just make him impossible to hit.
Barrier?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. Sure.
I mean, I don't say that with I'm 100% right on this. I say that because that's a point that was brought up to me when I got 4 strength work blitzers, and
I
having
think
thought
it's
about
good
it a
in this
lot.
too.
Yeah, it just makes that man impossible to hit because the strip ball guy that was just going to uphill him anyway, you don't care anymore.
Yeah, I mean, definitely needs to put the last level on this 4th blitzer, but that guy's pretty new, right? He didn't start the season with him.
Nope.
Yeah,
And
I think he just bought him.
Exactly. And he's got, I
before
guess,
the
a
last
Kaz.
game or something.
So that's sweet.
that's why you zero
Yeah.
out your money for it.
And he's gotten
Yeah,
like
well, and I think he bought an extra lineman after this game.
that sounds right.
'Cause
Oh yeah,
he bought
heavy
0
bubbles.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Alright.
such a good video. Okay, yeah, these
Yeah, it
breads are
is.
looking great. They're coming along well. Do you try and put the vanity pass on this 15 out of 16 lineman?
You put
No,
the
I
no. You put the vanity
Fuck
pass
no.
on these blockers. The blockers are
Yeah.
rolling vanity passes all the time just so they can finally get the levels that they never get.
You're not wrong.
And like what would that peasant do with a 3rd level?
Nothing.
Die. Get shot in the face with bullets.
That's my opinion. You like give him block and you're like weeping that you're fouling with an 80k piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's just like so bad.
You're just like, man, I could foul with this no skill blocker and it would just be better.
Yep. It would be a better use of team value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well let's move on. We actually have some hidden teams on the second page for this div.
Which already dad is this? Because there are 880
So
and
you
You
want
have
820.
the
the-
second already
The
dead.
second one.
Oh my god.
It
Poor
does not look
Zushio.
much better than the first already dead.
Oh my
Well, it
goodness.
has one more Tomb Guardian.
Oh
But-
my god.
This poor man. Yeah,
Uh,
right.
He is so all of
Like-
his SPP has gone to
Wow.
loners and star players. And,
You-
What do we even
yeah.
buy here?
Tomb
I mean,
Guardian.
I guess it's
Oh my
time to buy
God.
another Tomb Guardian, huh?
Yep.
It's time. Yeah, it's time to do that. I guess now.
It's literally now, and then his TV is still only 1060. That's horrifying.
No,
Oh
it's-
my god, I hadn't
yeah.
looked at this team before. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, this is part
This
of
is
why.
after we gave him a reroll, man. This
Yep.
poor man.
Yeah,
he's like such
we
a
gave
hero.
we gave him a reroll after game 1 where 2 Tomb Guardians died, and then
I mean-
I fought him and 1 Tomb Guardian died.
I won't lie.
Oh,
We are getting to
well-
the point with his team that I would not be opposed to giving him another reroll.
Oh, really? Like, kudos to
And
him
just, like,
for
give
sticking
him
out
some-
with this.
Give him some
This
damn
shit, wow.
depth concedes or something, man. Like, this team is in sad shape. I hate to rag on it, but
well, I mean,
this can't be fun to play.
The difference between this and Wood Elves, and the soapbox for a minute because it feels like it's worth pointing out,
please do,
is that Wood Elves, all those guys that are just linemen, they're positionals because they got 4 agi and 7 movement. That's nuts. These are fucking skeletons. They make zombies look good, and the Bretonnian blockers are eyeing them going, you know, maybe we want to keep our skin because maybe we're better than the skeletons.
I know I want my team to be made up of 5-3-2-7 guys.
Yeah, so that really is why. I mean, these Blitzraws, they're the best things on this team. Like, this one block Tomb Guardian, also pretty good. Everything else?
Wish he had a throw rod.
Like
Just wish he had enough
he
positionals
didn't start
to not
with the throw
field
rod.
6 skeletons.
Which
Oh my god,
I
you
think
need
was
to
a
have
bit
a
of a
thrower.
mistake. But
It's because he died, man. This team.
no, he
is
didn't. He just didn't start with it.
Didn't have one. Okay.
No.
He just didn't start with
There's
it.
a theory of Khemri that you don't start with it. I've had a long discussion about it with Rylon, and he had a whole bunch of math, but there are just times when that's just going to kill you.
Right?
It just starts with
Yeah.
and a movement.
Oh, it's like then you have to play Skeleton Cube to pick up the ball, and
against this
div,
where
like
you get
that's
to
just
start
so
with
bad.
things like wrestle, strip, war dancers. Like, no, that doesn't work.
No.
Yeah, and there's also
Or
the thing that
There's
like
somebody just playing rats.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
the if that ball bounces out of the Skeleton Cube, that's the rat's ball now.
Now, the sad thing is, I don't know that this team has much better luck in the other div either.
Oh no,
He fails the
It's
pickup and
full
then
of
he's
87
surrounded by
boys.
Bash Cube. Then
yeah.
my opinion
Always
on
87.
the Trora, not starting with a Trora, is that like, well, if you keep failing to pick up the ball, you're gonna have to start using rerolls on it. And as Camry, you don't want to use rerolls on picking up the ball because
you have
you're
these
gonna be
big guys with
punching.
no block.
Yeah, like so. Fuck, you need to start with the thrower because if you fail, wait, at least you failed without spinning a reroll.
Exactly. You need that reroll because you need to be taking your blocks before you pick the ball up, and you're going to likely spend a reroll doing that on turns when you need to pick the ball up. Like, you can't afford to save your reroll for picking the ball up.
Yeah.
Khemri life is real hard. Like, this is also a case where AV7's not your friend. Just notice, we don't have that many skeletons left.
Nope. It turns out Thick Skull only does some work.
Yeah, that's part of why I really like zombies a lot more. And even the Bretonnian peasants, at least you can't, like, chain hit them.
You can't follow them, Defend them.
So,
You know, skeletons suck. Skeletons suck. I've played Camry a lot, and they suck.
These things, they look like they're as good as zombies when you're uninitiated, and then you just see how they play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never played Khemri, but I'm pretty down on them.
They get the bad linos as well as Agi 2 on everything else. Like, they pay so much for 4 big guys that it makes them pretty bad. And then their big guys aren't good.
Yeah.
they're okay. The 4 movement's nice.
I mean, it's hard for me to want a no-skill big guy with decay, man, because he's going to put himself on the ground trying to get to a level.
Yeah. I don't
You're
know.
not playing, well, look, you're not playing Camry because it's the smart thing to do. You're playing Camry because, like, it's fucking 4 big guys, and you're going to be punching people around. You're going to try to kill people. That's it. I had lots of fun playing Camry.
If you want to play something like this, play vampires instead.
Ew.
I
Having actually played some vampires, that honestly sounds even worse.
I think that they're both of a similar high variance style, but at any rate, Zushio, man, the team keeps exploding. And then we have Hiroto Sukara.
Yeah, he's our new man.
I can read words.
So he joined with an 1100 team, and we had another person who wanted Rylon's spot, Iron Master. So we made them fight for it. Mm-hmm. And in their first game of fighting for it, they drew. So we made them fight for it again.
Mm-hmm.
Did it go to overtime, or did just one of them just win?
I think they just won. We set it up so it would go to overtime if necessary, but Hiroto just won.
Yeah, it looks like
because
we just
he was playing against Gimmick. I'm gonna induce big rats.
Yeah, big rats.
Credit to Iron Master.
I think
that is a good gimmick.
Team, we did give the big rat team a little bit of a handicap because he didn't have enough money to actually run his gimmick in the games he was playing to try and win his slot. So I'm sorry, Iron Master. We may have cheated you there a little bit.
In the second
second one, yeah.
The one that he lost.
I think that was good because it gave these guys like natural development too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of natural development, look at that 4-strength catcher.
Yeah, look
at that thing.
Catcher right there.
That
got
thing
block already
exists.
too.
Yep.
And look at this.
Started as a block
Blitzer,
catcher.
2 SPP from a level. That guy's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a bunch of block linemen.
Great. I mean, this is what pro elves look like after like 3 games, right?
Sometimes.
I mean, you maybe buy a thrower with some of that money. You maybe buy another
That's
catcher.
my suggestion, probably.
I like the second catcher.
Yeah, thrower is 110, right? Yeah, or catcher rather. I probably buy like a catcher and maybe even probably just save for like replacements then, right?
Or a lineup.
You don't really want you don't want to pay for a lineman over a loner lineup.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, saving for replacement catchers is important because there are pro elf teams there that cycle through like upwards of 10 catchers in a season.
All I gotta say is there's a lot of tackle mighty blow boys in this div, so these ain't safe.
Nope.
All right.
Yeah,
I think
that's sweet div.
This is pretty cool. And now on to the next one.
No, let's look at the lead board for like 2 seconds and we'll move on. Yeah.
So
Tim in the lead.
Look at me
Voyager
up
in
at the
second.
top there.
Yeah. We're doing top 4 cut, right? So the 8 for the finals, 8 for the playoffs. Yeah, so I mean, this is still certainly open, but Tim and Voyager are both in commanding positions right now.
Yeah, that's terrifying. You and Jimmy are also in really solid positions. Although
Yeah,
I think Bus is in there.
Yeah, Bus and Wilfrey are still close. Like, they can certainly take these spots from Jimmy and I.
Yep. And then after that, well, you got a guy playing Vamps. Well, you've got our newbie playing Lizards, who's doing fine, but, like, you learn a hard way a lot. When we got the guy who inherited a losing record. And we've got
I love that all
our
you guys
man.
are still excited to play your games. You're getting your games played in, like, 3 days into the week.
Yep.
And I
also... So, just doing some quick and dirty math with the leaderboard, I think I only have to win one of the next 4 games to actually be in the playoffs. Yeah.
You don't necessarily get a good seed doing that, but you're basically clinched anyway. Like, yeah, 5 and 4 is probably going to make it anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless, like, there's a bunch of draws that aren't you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, certainly draws can change those numbers a lot, but
yeah.
Better than 50% is going to get you in the playoffs in this div most of the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go talk about the Campbell Conference. We got 9 more games to talk about over here.
Let's talk about the games first. So we're going back to last week.
Match day 4, yeah.
Yep. All right. We have Antler Hill versus Hiroshia. Chorfs versus Chaos.
Yeah, this is Hiroshia getting yet another loner MVP.
Yep.
Winning the game.
Another win. I mean, he has just embraced the dwarf lifestyle. He's learned how to leverage his block. I mean, yeah, maybe...
This has actually been very good for what Hiroshia wanted to do with the season. He wanted to learn to play Bash better, and he lost his crutch, so he's had to play Bash.
He's been playing it fine. And it's not like Antler Hill didn't have a shot at this. Apparently, it was a very close game that just broke a little bit.
Got 51 blocks in. It can't be a bad game for Chaos.
No, not a bit. Yeah, no, this sounds like a sweet game, and I kind of wish I'd seen it.
It looks to me like Hiroshia's blocks were much more productive.
I don't
know if the claw did work here or what, but
he doesn't have any
39
ejections.
blocks got 6 removals versus 51 got 3. So
there's fouls in there. There has to be.
Sure. Yes, that's also true. I'm sure that the Chorfs are fouling. I have no idea.
I don't know how to see it in the dice, and unfortunately,
I mean this is Hiroshia's style certainly fouling. They removed in the last patch fouls from being special roles, so they just show up as armor breaks now.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks, Cyanide.
All right.
Okay. Talk about the South and the Sweet Boys and the Groovy Groonies.
Yep. No mercy.
This one's really Moniker's Elves, and then it's Rusty's Orcs. Definitely Orcs.
Yes. This is where Rusty just beats the ever-living shit out of Moniker. Oh,
this is
baby.
where Moniker's team gets pasted. This is where Bonksnake dies, right?
Yep.
Well, yeah, but like he almost won. He could almost have won that game. Like,
oh yeah, no, it was still a competitive game
well,
right up to the point where Bonksnake died. And then it was like, okay, that's enough.
Right,
Yeah, at the end,
moving
at the end of the second
It was
drive,
like turn 14 or something.
the werewolf just wrecked himself doing a block on a blitzer, and the ball was on the ground. And if the elves didn't roll a 1 to pick it up, they could have won the game easily there.
Yeah,
It is.
That
Like
roll.
the
werewolf get dodge here.
Yeah, the thing that really, like in my opinion, that really killed the game for the elves was that he managed to badly hurt both the whites on the first drive, and they regened,
Ooh.
and he did a 1 assist foul on a werewolf with his thrower, and
Kyle. I think you died in this.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that 1 assist foul is like it's a 1 in 6 chance of getting ejected. And as elves, I don't think you should be unless you're already way ahead in players. You shouldn't be helping the other guy to get elves out of the field.
If
Like
you actually want to remove somebody with your foul, you're 30% to get removed yourself.
Yeah, like a 1 assist foul on a werewolf, which he's 87, but he also has regen. Is definitely, I don't think it was a good plan, and he got ejected by it.
I
You're like
think
20+% to get ejected, and like super terrible chances to actually remove them.
I think this is just a case of Moniker seeing red. Like Moniker and Rusty have probably the biggest rivalry of anybody in Groon. Like
I think so.
more than anyone else. So when they go at it, they just want to kill the shit out of each other.
Oh yeah, this is a grudge match right here.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rusty versus Moniker has a long and storied history.
Like they get along fine as human beings, but they want to win.
They just want to kill each other in Blood Bowl.
Mhm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is a fun
And so
one.
they do.
Yeah, Rusty came out ahead this time. That said, it's
I
pretty
think
interesting.
Moniker's still ahead overall.
It's true. Moniker.
Yeah, Moniker only had the ball for 6% of this game.
Yeah.
75% ball possession for Necro is like can't be good for any team. That said,
104
even
yards.
blocks.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. We got a lot of games.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the game that inspired Crate to want to play Blood Bowl more again.
Yes, as you
Crate
should.
Crate and Forrest both say that this is like one of the best games of Blood Bowl that either of them has ever played.
Oh,
This was like in the
good.
rain too, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. It was like some
Yeah.
incredible tactical grind.
And of course, because Cyanide, none of us who didn't catch it can watch the replay because, Cyanide.
They're gone now.
Yeah.
It said there were 7 injuries inflicted by dumb things here, so I assume that the second half must have got pretty bloody.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that Forrest is probably playing pretty hard. Is like if there's 7 injuries and the Zons still manage to prevent humans from converting a point,
Humans
that
got
sounds
60
interesting.
blocks.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Forrest had to have been all up in Crate shit here.
Yeah.
The fact he was able to still drive it to a tie has to be pretty inspiring. The fact that Crate wanted to win, that sounds good.
I did see the end of this, and Crate fails to score at the end because of like a pickup in the rain.
It was just raining the whole match.
Yeah, it was a rain match. So this was like the ball is on the ground, and we have 2 hybrid teams just fighting over it.
Good. That sounds like good Blood Bowl.
Trying to pick up the ball in the rain.
This was great. Great game. Good showing for both of you. Lots of SPP for Crate. Not so much for Forrest.
That's Blood Bowl sometimes.
Yeah. That's Blood Bowl. It's just the Cavs came and the touchdowns didn't, and such it is.
Speaking
It was a
of
good game.
Speaking of ties, there were games that I think were some of my best
Yeah.
Blood Bowl games.
Tell me about your tie.
Well, it started with 3 KOs on zombies on the first turn. He immediately comes back, and Furl is probably just better than me at what we're doing, so I had to kind of be aggressive there, and I think it was good.
I think he's played more reps with Undead than you, for sure.
Oh, God, yes.
Necro or whatever.
This is my first time actually doing Undead. I usually do like Dwarves or Orcs or Necro. I like Undead a whole lot, and I'm not good enough at protecting my mummies. So he manages to get one as a KO on a counterpunch. So I go right back in and KO one of his. And like I score on my first drive. But on the second drive, he just tempos me out. And I do everything I can to prevent it, but he manages to convert a score like turn 15 or 16. It was
106 yards of rushing in this game, man.
It was a really tough game to play. Like he gets 12% possession, but he turns it into that point. It was a great game to play, and honestly, it It was probably the tightest
So
game I played in a while.
How does his point happen with this like short possession? Is this like a 2-turn, or does he recover it from you and take it across the field or something?
I think no, I think he 2-turns it, but then on my drive he takes it from me and just like makes it a dead ball.
The ball just ends up on the ground or something, and nobody gets to score with it that time.
Yeah, something like that. Like I definitely make a couple mistakes.
And Furrow is the kind of guy. There's two people that play Blood Bowl that when I play against, I'm like, well, I'm most probably going to lose. I think I'm going to lose. That's Furrow and Irritab, because they're just like they're very good.
Irritab's a monster.
Yeah, we should recruit him. He would be
Irritab
good.
will bring the worst pieces to the field, and you will still feel like you're behind.
Yep.
No, when I'm playing. I've played a lot against Irritab's halflings, and it has always been like, oh my god, can I win this?
That said, he's probably got like 200 games as halflings or something. He's got more reps than like anybody.
Yeah, that's why I feel good about this tie, despite the fact that like I got ahead as undead.
Well, any game comes out to a tie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, tying Furrow is good.
Okay, talk about how bad goblins are for a minute.
Goblins are fucking awesome. Come on.
They lost.
Yeah, they are.
They
awesome.
lost, but they didn't lose. But that's the thing. One of the things that's been happening to me on this tournament is that I'm not losing because of goblins. It's amazing. I'm losing because of mistakes that I make. Usually goblins just fail. But all the games that I lost, I can look into some things and say, look, if I had done this differently, I could definitely, like this game.
Yeah, that's every team, though. Goblins, you just have something that you can blame it on.
Yeah, well, I don't believe in blaming goblins. They're perfect little green angels.
I guarantee you that the dice are only the mechanism.
This is what makes you terrifying to play against, by the way.
You are pretty lucky with these boys.
Yeah, no, and this game, it was like, it could have been a tie. I was confident that could have been a tie or even a win if I wasn't... end of the first drive, end of the first, not the first drive, on the first touchdown, I'm mashing ask so that I can skip the KO animations. And I keep mashing ask, and I just say, no, ask means I don't want to use a bribe to save my fanatic.
No.
I didn't know that was the
case.
I didn't know that either of those were hotkeys.
Yeah, so I was just mashing ask, and my fanatic I had 3 bribes, and my fanatic was like, get the fuck out. I was like, oh, okay.
You have 6
Brutal.
And I also misused my chainsaw. Because, like I said, you need to use your chainsaw, but you need to be smart about it. First turn, I blitz it no SPP white.
Oh, yeah.
Just like get this guy out in the wind. He's only got 1 chainsaw roll, right? This guy must get removed quick.
And I didn't break armor. And so it wasn't a case of like, oh, yeah, but it wasn't like it was a tackle mighty blow guy, which it was like, hey, I need to take this guy out. That's why I shouldn't have
you shouldn't have even been beside him.
Yeah, and so those were the 2 big mistakes that really cost me a tie in the game, and even maybe
you basically you lost 2 of your important pieces to like a misplay and a misclick, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that sucks.
Well,
but it was still like a hard game. In the end, I had like 4 goblins in the field and 2 trolls, and he still had to fight. Like he did the second touchdown on the rain on turn 16, so it's not like it was an easy game too.
Did he have any tackle? I don't remember if his team has tackle on it or not. I guess he has like the 1 tackle mighty blow white, right?
Maybe.
I don't remember this team.
Because I'm pretty sure he was basically your team, right? But he had like...
No, this is Necro.
No, he's Necro. I'm wrong. He was the double killer Necro.
Yeah, and he rolled normally against goblins, and when you roll normally against goblins, you smash their face in.
Yeah. He has guard tackle. At least he has that next game, and I'll talk about that because I actually just played him like 2 hours ago.
Exactly. He didn't have the tackle before, I don't think. That's this guy gets it. Yeah, it's this white that levels here gets it.
Makes sense.
He had no tackle for this game. He just, I guess, the murder wolf does work, huh?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of things can do work there, like the couple mistakes will turn it.
Just gobos.
All right.
Let's talk about the second week here.
Oh yeah, that is the last game for the first week. And what's up at the top of our next week?
Pro Elves versus Chaos.
Hey, Moniker actually is back at it.
That
Loner
game,
MVP, yeah.
that game was, man, like just to know how bad this game was for Chaos. It started with a loner line elf -2 to be in the Blood Mino and rolling 2 pals.
Jeez.
20
Jeez.
SPP in this game.
I got a new
I guess
bong steak.
15.
Oh, this game was stupid. Like for the Chaos, like on third turn, you get a Chaos Warrior gets removed. He just straight up got cast. And after that, another Chaos Warrior, like 2 turns later, just wrecks himself blocking a loner and just gets out of the game too.
That's like
It's
every
just
game
like-
I've watched Antler Hill play is his strength guys just self-destruct.
Yeah, it's just this. I think Antler Hill's Chaos they're just cursed.
Yeah, they're
Like,
good.
It's by no fault of his.
After watching this game, it's like there was nothing Chaos could have done. They just killed themselves on elves.
It's been how like some of the games I've watched of his. Like he had the game where he had his Minotaur removed twice by the weather for like 12 turns or something.
Yeah, he's a fun coach. He's just, I
But
mean,
then you're playing 3 Chaos Warrior Chaos, and good luck.
And one thing that was fun though, in the end of the game, he had the ball. It was just 1-0. He might, like with extremely lots of luck, he could have tied, but the elves had Eldril, and
Oh, no.
Chaos tried to pass, and Eldril fucking used a pass block.
Oh, he's
And
fucking
it
pass block,
accepts
right?
it.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
was the first time I've seen pass block working. It was pass block, nerves of steel,
Yeah.
got it.
Huh.
Look at
That,
his hypno gazes too.
It does a thing. Oh,
7
God.
hypno gazes in this game.
Jeez. That,
Yeah, Eldril does a lot of work. He is a good elf. I remember seeing a piece of this game. At one point, Eldril had the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, interception.
That was probably the interception.
I mean, I don't even know if it was an interception. He just like is a good elf. Is the thing.
Oh, yeah, he was
He's like
using,
got
he used
rerolls
the-
built in for all the things he does.
Yeah, he used Eldril pretty well to get the ball and move the ball around. He did a good job.
I also, however, have a quote from Moniker. I hate Pro Elves. I'm not playing Pro Elves again. So, even with a game like this in the tank, he seems to be off it.
Yeah, no, I don't think that he's got. I don't want to say the fortitude because that has some negative connotations, but 87 is
Attitude.
not for him.
It is not the attitude for
Sure,
it.
there you go.
Okay, he doesn't have the ball, so that's
No,
it.
it's just that the AV7 life is not for everybody.
No. Yeah, I don't know.
It's-
If he's gonna go AV7, he's gonna go Rats, but that's
Yeah.
another story.
I think Rats fit his style much better.
All right, Dumb Things versus Iron Alcoholics.
Yeah.
Well, insert chainsaw noises here.
Pretty much.
Man, if I could make that play over my stream, we're not going to troll you about the 4 rerolls anymore, Hiroshia. We are going to troll you about the chainsaw noises. That said,
What did Crate lose in this game? I see 2 deaths.
Yeah, the chainsaw the chainsaw killed a guard blitzer on turn 4. Then he gets punched, fouled, casually gets up, dodges, and rips the ogre apart. That's
This is where that's right. He kills the guard blitzer, and we don't apo it, and then we we kill the ogre, and it gets apoed into minus move, right?
yeah,
No.
exactly.
That's this game.
is that this game? I thought it was already minus move. It was already minus
No,
move.
that was this game.
That's
like,
this game, I
Huh.
think, because it's still Miss Next game right now.
Go
Yeah.
figure.
And it was actually a pretty close game because in the end in the second drive, like the humans scored, so it was 9 against 9. They got 2 Hitlers KO'd, and then they wake up, but it was close. Like Crate could actually have won this game, but it wasn't to be.
22 armor breaks to 4 off of 55 blocks to 48.
I mean, that's also Chainsaw doing a thing.
Some of that, yeah, and fouls, yes, I
Yep.
understand. But that 48 blocks for 2 KOs and 4 armor breaks is like miserable.
Yeah,
productivity.
that's really rough.
And
Especially,
on the second drive, Craig got a blitz and he got lots of guys close to the ball, and Haroshi just walked his Bull Centaur to the ball, pick it up like it was nothing, and just ran away.
Yep.
The Bull Centaur,
and when they run away as far as a gutter runner does.
Yeah, like his hacked, it's hacked movement 9.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah, they're not supposed to pick the ball that easily.
Crate seems to think this is the game where his team died, but I don't think he's right.
No, his team's probably fine, but we'll have a check on it.
He can still go forward.
Okay, well let's. We've got Groovy Groonies versus Yithmi Furlord. That's Necro versus Necro. Who wins the Necro duel? Undead versus Necro. My apologies.
Undead versus Necro. I don't automatically give it to the Necro. I think actually the Undead has a good shot here.
No, I was joking about Necro versus Necro. Well, Necro is going to win, obviously.
Yes.
I think Furl wins here.
Yeah. That said, we get to talk about Necro versus Undead a little bit later. But first we have...
There's another one of those.
Goblins versus Amazons easy game. Explain.
Yeah, look at this 3-1 for Goblins here.
This was a game. It was like
a touchdown differential, huh?
AV7 against AV7.
Yeah, you gotta get those tiebreakers, man.
0 blood on the game. There was only KOs at maximum. No one got hurt.
3 armor breaks against Goblins.
Yeah.
4 blocks, 3 armored breaks against Goblins.
Oof. Yep. And you got 4 KOs to his 1 KO. 27 versus 24 blocks, which is confusing, but fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game was interesting. Like,
wow.
I had one bribe
down 12 times.
Yeah, like I started a game and I had 1 bribe and bomber dribbles now. Like this is like 10K with my stadium, but he might as well not be in the game because like on turn 1 he dropped the bomb on his feet and KO'd himself out. Which is fine. That's like it's a bombardier.
That's expected some percentage of the time.
How do you feel about having an actual bombardier on your team? Would you rather just induce it when you can and just say the hell with it otherwise?
Yeah, I would rather just induce it because it's 10K with the stadium improvement.
Right.
And it's like I don't think that they are useful enough that I want to have like a permanent 40K bombardier on my team. If
exactly,
I can
you'd rather just have a goblin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, especially because when you induce him, he's 10K. I have a song queued up for this.
What's our song?
I linked it in GROONBOWL. I'm clicking on it now. It's You Drop the Bomb on Me, because of course it is.
Of course it is.
Because, I mean, that's a bomber.
That's what he does, man. That's what he does.
How did you manage to 3-0 him? I remember there were like a pair of 1 turns here, right?
3-1, but...
No, there was just 1. Like, what happened was, I started with the ball.
And that's right. But your style is basically you like cage up with the ball and then what amounts to 1 turning with it.
Yeah, no, what I do is, like, I started the game, and I got the ball, and I got a few KOs. The Amazon started pressuring me, and I managed to get a few more KOs, did some fouling, and because of that, the Amazons, Forrest very wisely decided, like, hey, let's not be hugging trolls all the time. He moved back to, like, reassess the situation, and that gave me, like, a lot of forward movement. So I just went forward, and I managed to surf someone. I managed to surf a person, an Amazon, with my Fanatic on the touchdown line. Like, I've never done something like that before. So I was just grinding up and trying to foul with my chainsaw, which got ejected on a foul, but hey, at least it was there. And he actually pushed me into the TD zone on turn 7.
Rather get that guy ejected with a foul than get him ejected by a half every time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's
and
what he's good at.
Actually, I had a choice because I had 1 foul. I had 1 bribe, right? And I one time, I did a foul with my ball carrier, and he got ejected. So I had a choice.
You kind of have to there, yeah.
I have to ask, what happens then?
Well, if he gets ejected,
so the ball just drops on the ball and it scatters.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, the choice was, look, I can either save. It's not even because it was a ball carrier, because it was a less movement on turn, so I didn't care that much.
Yeah, sure.
I had to do a choice there. I can either lose a goblin that I know will be here on next drive, or I can Like, if I don't score, I can try to save my chainsaw for the next drive.
It's kind of long odds, though, because like all of your gobos have to live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I did was like, no, I'm just gonna save my goblin now, and the chainsaw is gone like I was planning for it to be gone.
Yeah, I think that's great because it lets you just start wantonly fouling with him until he is gone.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did. So I managed to score, and then on the second drive, that's how good goblins are. I didn't lose a single player. No one was KO'd. I didn't lose a single player on the first drive, right? He had 5 knockouts. All these players come back, and suddenly I am down mans on the second drive, even though I didn't get anyone hurt.
Rip.
Yeah, that's goblin life. But I got lucky. I got lucky on the second drive because he moved his ladies around, and I was like trying to keep them all a little bit tagged. But he left his ball carrier on blitz distance to a troll. Mm-hmm. Now I didn't blitz the ball carrier for troll. I just moved the troll there because it was a blodge ball carrier, so I wouldn't get the ball anyways.
Down with a troll, you don't even want to try.
Yeah. But when he dodged out, Amazon dodging failed.
Yep. That was what I remember of this game is you both had to do 1 in 9 shit, and your shit worked and his didn't.
Exactly. So when Amazon dodging failed, I just grabbed the ball, got my goblins in a desperate rush to the side of the field that I was, managed to do some caging around the ball, and a few turns later, Amazon dodging failed again.
And I walk away.
I walked away. I walked the goblin to another goblin, handed off, and did a touchdown. At that point, it was 2-0. So I just moved away, let him score 1 touchdown, because I'm not going to be fighting and losing goblins on trolls for no reason.
You just like got out of the way, and then 1 turned on 8 through like a bunch of shit.
Yeah, and then on turn 16, I had this hero goblin who I just like, let's see if I can do this shit. So I just threw the goblin out, and he dodged between 2 Amazons through 3 tackle zones, did 2 GFIs, and scored.
Sometimes stunty shit works, dog.
Yep.
That said, that kick was also a touchback, if I'm not mistaken.
That helps.
Or no, it was a high kick. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was a high kick.
Yeah, you had some help from the kickoff.
I like that impact of the bomb has 1 roll and it's 0%.
It was himself.
Yep.
That's what bombs do.
Let's talk about the Necro versus Undead that's happened.
That was a couple hours ago, and the first half, I feel I played the first half okay, but I wasn't able to convert the drive. I ended up getting one of my mummies knocked out, and we just kind of got into a stall in midfield, and I didn't get really good hits. My dice were a little cold, and his were decent. So we just kind of stalled out my drive there. Nothing really happened. And the second drive, well, this is where I make mistakes. Basically, he puts himself open, he screens off one side of the field and commits hard to the other side. I go in, make some hits on a werewolf I position to defend it, but I don't take into account that, werewolves have frenzy, it can surf you from 2 spaces, because the ball's on the werewolf. He doesn't care. He goes and surfs the ghoul. I go for the counter hit on the werewolf, surfs another guy, he just backs out, repositions. And at that point, I'm fighting.
You also knocked out your 2 mummies really early in the first half, so you were down.
1 mummy.
He injured the one and KO'd the other.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't able to do anything in the first half. And then the second half, he just put a zombie on the mummy and just kept it fed. Because that was my pillar on the far side.
Yeah, since you only had the 1 mummy, you kind of had to pick a side for your pillar, and he just audibled the other way. So the mummy just got to play with a zombie for the second half.
Yep, and I mean, I felt like audibling the other way was right. I committed pretty hard on the side that didn't have the mummy with the idea they wouldn't go for it. But you
got a little baited into the sideline here.
Yeah, the surfing he just stunts on me and converts it into his point. I make some 1-die hits on the ball carrier, put it on the ground, but it's not enough. He makes the pickups in the rain, which, he had the time to do it. So it was well played. Gunadic plays it real well.
Similar blocks. 6 removals to 2. Plus he had the surfs. So he actually had 8 removals to your 2.
Yeah, it's like I said, the dice were a little cold the first half. There was a turn, pretty great, where I hit a guard white about 9 times. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, now that said, this KO was like an early KO on the Killer Wolf, so it was like a good one. It just the mummy was the knock back, and that more than equalized.
Yeah, and the injury was on a zombie that doesn't regen.
It was just a BH. Nobody cares.
Yep. But yeah, it's fine. I get it.
This was a good game.
It was a good game to play. I think I checked out a little bit of the first half, and that was a mistake. You don't want to check out of a game when you have the equity, because I think I could have potentially tied it up if I'd been playing tighter.
You lose those important pieces early, and it affects your play.
Yep, you shouldn't though.
Everybody, you gotta try your best to mitigate that. Gotta be aware of it.
Yep. No, I need to go a little more in there, and like by going in, I mean pillaring hard. And if he committed to the sideline, force him to commit in a bad position. But I didn't.
This is a tough matchup, and it broke his way to start, and then the second half was just a slog that ended up with a bunch of surfs and a bunch of removals, and it just didn't work out great for you.
See, at the end I realized I needed to make some risky plays to convert it, but I realized that a little too late after I didn't have the pieces on the field to still make those plays. I think if I realized that right at the half rather than after I committed and gotten baited into getting surfed, I could have done things. But as it stands, I fell completely into it. Again, Frenzy, amazing skill, surfing incredibly strong. He managed to get some of the unusual surfs by like filling in behind the guy and getting the sideline surf. Like, there's a lot of really neat tricks you can do with it.
This game also featured 4 dub skulls and 5 blocks.
Oh yeah, that was really funny. Like he dub skulls, turns over. It looks like I might have a chance to break away. I just straight up dub skull right back. So.
Yep, you're dub skull into dub skulls.
Yeah, I don't think I say my dice were a little cold first half. I can't complain too hard. Like it was a case where I was outplayed.
And your blocks just didn't yield removals while his did, and then like by the second half, you just kind of got squished into a sideline, which was a little awkward because you were on the defense, but.
I mean, that's what being outplayed is. Like, if you give him a chance where the positioning ends poor, like, I could have also just as easily forced him to commit into zombies and eat fouls. Speaking of...
quad skull of yours that put you in the situation where you got all your surfs taken. Like, you were literally taking a block to fix that.
Yeah, but sometimes that happens. And speaking of, the fouling game from both of us was on point. Like, I put a lot of boots on his wolves. It is the boots that got that mummy ejected, so good work on that. Mm-hmm. The foul is not underrated. You should use it, and you need to leverage these things. Yep. All right, those are the matchups. Let's get to the teams.
Yeah, let's talk about teams. Let's talk about these chorfs that I've been told have something special waiting on them. Oh no, not yet. I thought he said he bought a second bull.
He doesn't quite have the money for it.
He does not.
That said, this is what you want out of chorfs. I mean, yeah, he literally hasn't gotten any development since the mighty blow on that claw boy.
Worst.
Oh, he got blocked on the Bull Centaur.
Oh,
yes,
that's actually really good.
Yeah, he got 2 touchdowns on the game against Great.
Nice.
That's how you do it. That's how you get block on a Bull Centaur.
Let me say this. I will quote Hiroshia on his own team here. I wish I had gone with 4 guard. Hiroshia 2017.
Yep.
Or 2018.
I think that would have been the better Chaos Dwarf start, but such is life.
I mean, hey, that's how you learn these things, because you learn that guard is amazing against that. Speaking of, going briefly back to that Necro game, he had 2 guard, I didn't. That won him the block war. Holy shit, he uses guard very well.
For block war, you can't make blocks on pieces that matter because the guard guy's always there.
Like, I mean, the way to deal with that is you knock the guard boy down, but sometimes if you don't get that knockdown on the guard boy, which happened to me about 4 times, that was my turn 4 times. And,
that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, that's why guard's good.
This team has been very stunted. You need, honestly, at this point, you really kind of need to try and plan around trying to put the ball on some of these chorfs because they need to get guard. Yeah. I know that's hard, and you really can't ever do it unless a half goes really well. But sometimes that happens, and sometimes you've caged the ball up down there at like their end zone on turn 6, and it's time to start trying to give Batali the ball.
Yeah,
that's right. That's completely true.
Alas, that is the case. But you do it, whatever.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, he's got so much of his SPP from the season is on these hobs. It's really kind of sad because he had to play hob ball for so many games.
Mm-hmm.
And it's better than Soros ball, so hey, at least you have that.
It's true.
This team is coming along. It's just not there yet. Like,
It's got a winning
Again,
record.
This was the team that lost to Bull Centaur to start, so he's been fighting uphill. But his team looks good now. He's still got a winning record, right?
Oh yeah, he's still
yeah.
to a great record.
Like, yeah, he's doing great, and his team is in fine shape again. It's just that you would expect Chorfs at this point in their development to have pieces that have the mythical skill called Guard.
Speaking of Guard, looking at Rusty's team, we have some Flolums. One of them has AV8, but it has block, so you keep it.
Tough. Yeah, can't really afford to replace it ever is the problem.
One of these werewolves has movement, which is insane, but at this other time, kind of terrifying that it has no defensive skills.
Exactly, it's just a fresh werewolf that's got an extra move, so it only does so much.
That Flesh Golem is a vanity pass away from having Guard. You see if you can make that happen. I do.
Say it, but again, like turn 16, when things are going great, it's time to try and get not Basanda, Denizen here, at SPP.
Yep.
Hell, even hand him the ball.
I mean, you hand the ball to Jimmy Burrito because you want Guard. Like, I think that's an easier way to get Guard, is just feed 2 touchdowns to that white for all that this stupid gutter werewolf is gonna want to get it.
It's just that it's easier to put the touchdowns on the white because all your scorers are 3-edgy anyway. Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, you got to be ahead to put it on a 2-edgy man.
Yep. And
I might get this third reroll here as soon as I could. That might be what he's saving for.
Well, the things you can save for are third reroll or ghouls. You get the third reroll though first, because like you already have the werewolves to be fast pieces. Unless your division really, really needs speed, like you're against a bunch of wood elves and rats, which you're not. You don't need the ghouls that badly.
Yeah, movement 9 is he's not going to be. No one's going to catch up to that.
Because right. Like Uncooked Poke Chops is the ball carrier right now anyway, because he needs to get some touchdowns to get another skill. Like, you just don't actually need the ghoul right this second, I don't think, because this werewolf is doing its job.
And like you still have 2 whites as a decent amount of movement. Like those 2 whites have a lot of action, and like your full
really want guard on this one. Like no guard on this team is tough.
Yep.
Yeah, he went all into not having the ghouls, and I think right now it's not the time to go back on that.
Yeah.
I think that's the right way to play Necro most of the time. Like ghouls are fine; they are not bad pieces, but they are low priority on Necro.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's talk about some Amazons then.
Ooh, these guys have gotten trimmed.
Like now?
About the same.
Frightening to start.
They look exactly the same as they did to start.
What's the skill that he lost here?
He lost sure hands on a thrower, I think.
Yep. And he has a catcher now, so that thing can take agility skills after it gets blocked.
Yeah, this looks like Amazons.
It's still really good.
Going to be a nightmare to play against.
Not looking forward to it.
At this point, I think you're probably trying to put some touchdowns on some of these line women, right? Like, I mean, you still really want to get like second skill on these blitzers. Like, I get that's important, but just turning a few of these linemen that are close into block dodge linemen sounds fantastic.
Yeah, you want to give Marie Curie a vanity pass and Shira Goodman a touchdown.
Yeah, right now it's more important to get bloods on the linos than to get the other skill on the blitzers.
Yeah, because these
maybe
4-guard blitzers are
like
great.
You're only a TD away there, but
Blodge Everywhere makes this team a nightmare because
exactly.
Blodge Everywhere only takes you to like 1300 or 1300.
Exactly. I mean, this look at how trim this TV is for this threatening a team. He's only 1160.
Yep.
And then once you get past Blodge Everywhere and maybe 2 skills on blitzers, then the team starts falling off. But whatever.
Yeah, I feel like next blitzer skills are like a tackle and then some mighty blows, and I don't even know what you take on the last one.
Stats.
This team it's only 100k more than my Goblin team.
Exactly.
And they don't feel like they're only 100k more than my Goblin.
Yeah, he gets all the inducements, and he's fielding a team that's just as good.
Yeah.
Yep. That's cool. Let's have another look at the next one.
Yeah, talk about yours.
So did I just get enough for the last pool? Yeah, I want some guard really badly. I have not been able to get it quite on the mummies. I've been trying to get them to guard. It hasn't quite got there. My second white hasn't really gotten there. and I didn't roll guard on my first zombie level. I want the 4th ghoul. I'm probably going to buy him, given that I rolled a 6 on winning. But, I mean, that makes my bench a little deep, so it's going to be an inducement game case. I'm not in a rush to fly this block zombie. Yeah?
I have an interesting question for you. Because, at least I think you should probably have at least one of these zombies back, like, helping your ball guy pick up the ball every time.
Yes.
Is there an argument for your first turn or your drive against non-threatening teams trying to use one of these 5 out of 6 SPP zombies just to get some more skills on this team? Because, like, you want to be able to beat guys up on the line, right?
No.
And more block lets you do that.
No.
No, I don't like that at all.
So...
Okay, what if we do that and get them dirty player instead?
No.
I'm still not a fan. I'm not a fan of attempting to
agree.
pick up the ball with zombies, just
and then make a
like
pass with it?
yeah, like just that. So that's 2 coin flips. Like
Yes.
And
then the 3 plus
and a
to
3
catch it.
plus. Yeah, like on your first turn, under like no actual pressure.
So
just roll the what is effectively a 6.
So if the opponent is pitch cleared, as I was by the Necro, then I could see it. But like, what we're not actually, I don't care enough about block or dirty player to really want it. The entire point of leveling zombies is you fish for guard, and then eventually you fire them after they get 2 levels.
Yeah.
So if they get 2 levels,
the
no guard,
alternative is
you
you're
fire them.
putting 6 SPP on a white to look for guard.
That gets guard every time though.
No.
And that's what I want to do.
6 SPP on that guy.
Yeah, but if I'm under no pressure, I score with the white. If as it has been, I've been under pressure, so I've got my scores on ghouls, all 4 of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to put the scores on that guy a lot of times.
Yeah,
you have to like actively plan for it, and he has to not be doing his job, which is again hard.
Honestly, the white is. I frequently will have a free white. It's not. It's not like always guaranteed, but it's a thing where I can plan for it because fresh ghoul also does that job okay. Like, yeah, he's just got dodge, but like he's screening instead of hitting. And that's honestly fine.
You want it to be your blitzer white that's free, right? And then this other guy has to play pillar white's job because you only have 2 mummies.
Yeah, but 2 mummies is still a lot. Like 2 mummies can start snowballing. But the
thing is, if the mummy's off by himself, he gets put on the ground and fouled out.
That is the thing that's gotten me.
Yeah, like you really need that guy to have blocks so that he's not fragile enough to just knock down.
So that's actually what this zombie's job is. Is this zombie? The block zombies are buddies for the mummies, and that's actually my biggest mistake with undead so far. Is I need to protect my mummies better because while they're not as much of a prima donna as werewolves, and let me tell you, werewolves are prima donnas. They will get themselves overextended really easy if you don't think about it, and they're only strength 3. They don't have defensive skills to start. They got frenzy to go get frenzy trapped. So yeah, werewolves are prima donnas and they'll get fouled out real easy. Mummies, they have to body up to your team to foul them out. But in this division, people are going to do that. So,
and like if your mummy has a buddy, especially if it's like a guard buddy, then they can't body up your man and knock him down.
So I will say this: I think tackle mighty blow was a mistake. I think I should have gone tackle 1, guard on the other. At this point in the division, I've been reminded how important guard is, and I think that's where you do it.
I would have gone guard 1, mighty blow the other.
I think that's probably right. But it's like you still need the tackle though. Like you're just suffering.
You do, but mighty blow gets you to the tackle faster. Yeah. Whereas tackle without the mighty blow is like it's kind of a crapshoot.
I mean, it gets you there if you're playing elves.
It gets you there if you're playing against elves, but there aren't very many elves in this team.
Exactly.
So.
Okay, but you didn't know that when you were picking skills.
Yeah.
As a goblin player, I'd like to tell everyone in this division that tackle is not a necessary skill.
That's what they all say.
Yeah.
Where are your developmental plans here? Or like, who are you trying to? I assume that Bells is next up for getting a touchdown.
Honestly, it's a case where I give the touchdowns to Frenchhorn if I can. Otherwise, Bells. Like Bells is going to carry it, and he hands off to Frenchhorn if it works, and if it doesn't, you just score on the ghoul. You put the mummies in a position where they can hit people because that's their job. Mummies just sort of do their thing. This white blitzes. Frenchhorn really wants guards, so I've been trying to get him hits. And the zombies just do their thing. Like if they die, so be it. If they get to the next skill, so be it. It's going to be block every time until I can get some guard. Yeah, dirty player is great. I wish I had more dirty player. If the skeleton ever levels, he gets dirty player definitely. But
I really don't hate making a dirty player on one of the zombies.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. But my issue is that I'm fishing for guard, and until you find at least like a guard or two on zombies, you really just got to keep fishing for guard, like super long term. But I'm doing this as a practice because if I ever want to switch off dwarves and rel, undead they're good. I mean, yeah, maybe not. Nobody plays undead.
I don't know that your fishing for guard plan is great when there's only 4 more games in the season.
Yeah. It's not great, but it's just a thing I'm trying out.
I get it. I mean, if you're playing this as like a long-term dev for this team, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it's something I'm trying out. Like at this point in the season, I feel like I mostly have just been learning to play undead, so I'm just trying to get better with the team.
How I feel about Norse.
Yup. Speaking of,
let's talk about these Necro.
Oh, these are a beautiful team. Necro are great.
Not as beautiful as they once were.
Who cares? Fresh Werewolf still put in work against me. You see those 3 SPP? That's still a movement 8 boy that can carry the ball because he has Agi 3.
I mean, but before that was a movement 8 boy that had block and mighty blow.
Yeah, that's definitely more terrifying. This is also the game that proved flesh golems, even with no skills, still do their job as a strength 4 boy quite well.
Right in the way.
And
now that said, instead of this werewolf that died, he could have had a pair of block flaloms, and I don't know. I'm not sure that this was the right Necro start still, and he kind of got punished for it here.
Yeah. You also could have started with... He got guard on both his whites somehow. I don't know if it's by cheating touchdowns or what. But these whites, man, getting 2 guard on Necro is huge. He was out bashing me because of this. This is why. This is what won him. Kick Zombie was okay. I feel like I'd rather have Dirty Player or Block, but that's me. Like, Kick was never...
He put touchdowns on all of these whites to get their skills. It's like 3 touchdowns and 2 MVPs on one, and then 2 touchdowns and a Kaz on the other.
Look at you actually reading stream chat and, like, chat in Discord.
Oh, no, I just looked it up on their stats.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Yep.
That's a thing you can do.
Who reads chat?
That's for nerds.
Yeah, for nerds.
It is.
You.
Oh,
I think this time, as much as I'm ragging on this team, it's in fantastic shape, and it's like...
Oh, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
Getting close to... Like, it wishes it had slalom levels, but that's every Necro team, and like...
Except for
Gimp
Jimmy's.
Werewolf. Sorry, this thing's only like a B+ team. It's still great.
He got his 3
It's a
reroll.
B+ team, which is like first place in the division.
Exactly.
Third
Like,
reroll.
this is what this team looks like beat up.
Mm-hmm. And he eventually gets ghouls if he gets a lot of money. Like, at this point, I think you start considering firing zombies for ghouls. But you don't need to. Like, it's a thing you do if you have the time and feel like it's worth it. You might be better off spending...
right now if he wants.
I know. Like, I think that's probably the right move after our game. But, you know.
Sweet team. It's developing well. Talk about goblins for us, Prozac.
Well, I've got a goblin with a level. I didn't fire
You
him.
got diving tackle.
Oh,
yes,
baby.
because my next game is against Pro Elves.
Oh, yeah.
And I did my math. I can have this goblin level and still have 2 bribes.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, because
Which stadium are you playing in?
oh, that's a good question. I don't think it's on my stadium. Let me check this out.
It is at...
It's on his stadium.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's Wizard Stadium, right? No,
Oh,
that's
no, that's me.
no Rock Stadium. I don't know.
Yes, a stadium that throws rocks at its players.
I wish there was a stadium that like gave you a guaranteed rock every half. That would be sweet.
Oh, God.
Oh my god, I would stop playing. I would stop
That would
playing
be
Blood Bowl.
horrifying.
But I get this, and I have one of my trolls is just a punch away.
Yeah, the other one's only 2. He's doing great too.
Yeah, but I'm getting my TV is getting bloated. I'm getting way too much TV, and
Yep.
that's because that's not because of my trolls, because I need levels. Yeah, they love
Yep.
it. They love my goblin.
You have almost an entire goblin worth of fan factor.
But the thing that if I would remake this team, what I would do is honestly, I would not give the fanatic levels.
Really?
I would give, if I had to remake this team, I would give both trolls block and break tackle.
Oh, I like that a
Yeah,
lot.
Okay.
Just put the
Yeah.
TV on guys that you don't really think are expendable.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
fanatic is never gonna fight for more than 8 turns ever.
No, this fanatic, like And the Fnatic is like, when he works, he's amazing. But the thing is, it's really, really, really hard for him to work.
He only hits a guy when there's one of them. I've watched some games where you have tried to move this guy, and he just like refuses to go even remotely where you want him.
Yeah, but the biggest problem is it isn't even like, oh, I cannot hit this one guy. Fine, that happens.
Sometimes you miss the two guys, or sometimes you miss the walk over to hit the guys.
Yeah, but the biggest problem is actually when you have a Fnatic, you have to move your team where the Fnatic is going.
Exactly.
It's true.
And you don't always want to do that. So either you leave him by himself and people will block the fuck out of him.
Knock him down, and then you have a Fnatic for 3 turns.
Yep, that's what I went for because it seemed like the only way to deal with that thing.
Yeah, so
I will punch a Fnatic every time you give me a chance to.
Yeah, and the Fnatic is really good, but he's not like 110k good.
Exactly, that's my thing. He's like 70k good.
Yeah, so if I ever have to fire a player on this team now, after after Blowjob Andrew, of course, he's probably out next game. But if I get a level on the Trolls, I might have to think about firing my Fnatic and just buying a brand new one.
Right. I mean, that is an easy way to shave 40k when you need it, though.
Yeah, because I need to have goblins. Like, I can't just go to the game with 11 players. I need more.
You're just gonna die.
Yeah.
There's also the joke about firing your APO, but I feel like that's probably wrong.
No, because
I don't actually know how terrible that is. Like, I actually considered it for goblins when you have these block trolls because nobody else has APO rights but the trolls.
Yeah, but the thing is, if one block troll dies,
your team,
or if one block troll is missed next game, fuck, that's like 2 games lost.
Exactly.
It's
you're
true.
not wrong.
It's very, very true. All right. Well,
and like it sets up the potential for your troll to get beat up in the game. The other one's gone, and it starts the snowball. I get it.
But I don't think that I'm gonna need to fire the Fnatic because I'm going again. I just went against the lowest TV team or the minor division, and I'm gonna go against the second one next game.
Exactly.
After that,
I'm gonna have the guys more. Are already getting pretty big.
Yeah. After that, I'm gonna be having some petty cash to throw around.
This 3/2 goblin.
All right.
Okay, let's move on to Furl's team.
Yep. So this is the Necro that went hard on bashing. He also
the undead that went hard on bashing.
Yeah, same thing.
You're thinking I conflate him with Genetic all the time in this league too.
Well, he was able to actually get there when it came to getting all 4 of his goals, and he's got the block zombie, which we've had that conversation already.
Fire this coaching assistant. Fire this cheerleader.
Probably, yes. Except he's only at 1280. Like, really, he just...
He could be at 1260.
It's true. And he doesn't have guard yet, but he was able to work fine with it. Like, Blodge Step, that ghoul is just... That's done. You don't ever expect that ghoul to level again.
I hope he doesn't.
Sure Hands is there to save you rerolls. It's pretty good for him, I think. And then he's got two more. I guess
he's building just a Blood Sure Hands ball carrier man next. Yep. I get it. It's fine.
And then, like, one of these guys is probably getting wrestled. I mean, it's undead. We've talked about them twice already. If you want,
this is like the most standard-ass team that you could ever take for this league.
For any league. Like,
I'm not saying it's bad.
Yep, like, there's a reason I tell people to learn with undead, because, well, I love orcs too. This is a version of it that I think is a little bit more hybrid.
What he bought here, was this just a 4th ghoul is what he bought to have no money now?
Yes, that's his 4th ghoul. Annie Hagao, and that's the one here that I actually don't get out of all of his jokes, and I'm a little sad to say I get every other one.
Just gonna move on.
Yup.
Let's talk about Crate's dumb things.
Speaking of naming gimmicks.
Speaking of dumb things.
Oh, hey, he doesn't...
Look at this poor minus movement ogre.
Yeah.
Good job on Crate saving his Apo to keep this block ogre. This was a dead Apo into a minus move.
Yep.
Yeah.
And block ogre is block ogre. Like it's worth it still.
Exactly. There was I think it was just a guard blitzer, right?
Man, this ogre is taking.
It was
a guard blitz. It was a guard blitzer that was niggled.
Okay, was it? Oh, he was already niggled. Okay, then he just got got trimmed and replaced. That's fine.
Yep.
So the thing that gets me here,
Probably wants the third reroll sometime when he can get it, but
this ogre has gotten the minus move, saved the APO, and he used that to save a killer. He had 2 tackle blitzers before, so one of those died at some point. And then now he used the APO on the minus movement ogre to save it into just a miss next game. Because that... Oh, wait, that movement minus
this is definitely the game where he takes his minus move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got minus move by
100%
chainsaw
the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he lost a blitzer, which was the other guard blitzer. It might have been guard tackle.
Also, he doesn't want the third reroll because he still has that thrower with leader.
Oh, that's right.
That's fair, but, like, I don't know.
Eventually...
I am not a huge on leader, personally. Like, I get it. I don't like it that much on these teams where your thrower sometimes has to go pretend to be a lineman.
Yeah. I think it's not great when you only are floating so many linemen. But at any rate, this is still a fine team. You wish you had that second guard back. You kind of wish you had the second Mighty Blow, honestly.
Yeah. He's been kind of beat up. That's why he's as low as he is TV-wise. I mean, without
that ogre is
this is still
1240.
1130 without the ogre, and then it's like 1240 with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That said, I really like this plus movement blitzer. Plus movement human blitzers are sick.
He's going to put in a lot of work. Get him Mighty Blow next, and he's going to kill every elf.
Oh, yeah. And Goblin.
Yep.
Nope, he's not gonna kill any goblins. He's already played it.
That's true.
Alright, let's go back.
Let's look at this Tiny TV moniker team.
Yeah, that's my next target.
Yeah.
Man, there's not even any miss next games on this team.
There's not anything on this game. This team's just kind of dead.
It's been gutted.
Yeah. He's gonna have 3 loners next game.
He had Pile-On Mighty Blow. That's gone. Now he just has Dodge and Dodge Tackle. Well, Dodge Tackle actually he started with.
40 Pro Elves. This is gonna. I mean, they still win games, but the death spiral is well underway.
Yep.
Yeah, and like this team, he can style on my goblins if unless he's unlucky, he can score a lot.
He can only style on you so much because he's only got 2 rerolls.
So yeah.
So
it's gonna be something. Like my next game, it's gonna be something because this team, even though they're like low TV elves, are the dream again for anyone else other than goblins.
I mean, it's still fine though. He's just gonna have Eldril every game, so you're gonna have to put up with like 3 fucking awful blitzers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Pro Elves out of the box are fine. Like he's still gonna win games with this team. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
It's just that there's like a 0% chance that we ever see this team again after this season.
Oh yeah. Moniker, I believe, has a record of fuck elves.
Yep, that's his current record.
Yep. Alright, so Surfoid
Last but
Superman,
not least,
Antler Hill. Actually, no, it's not last but not least, because somehow we've avoided Rusty. But let's talk about this chaos while we're here, and then figure out what happened.
I skipped it somehow. Look at me.
Alright, let's talk about this chaos.
I'm trying to get at you, Rusty. I'm just not doing it intentionally.
Yeah. Alright, well, he's got his last Chaos Warrior. It's missed next game, but it's still there.
That is great progress for this team.
Yep. And he has a Block Goat and a Wrestle Goat. Did the Wrestle Goat start there?
He got this. It's
Lodge Minor.
It's Emily is the new Chaos Warrior, and it's got 2 games in it now. So I guess he's had a full roster for a little bit now.
Yep.
Is a huge change.
Man,
great upgrades. He still needs to get block on these other 2 Chaos Warriors. Like you need to play Chaos Warrior Ball desperately.
You Vanity Pass the one.
Chaos Warrior Ball isn't even that bad.
You got Agi 3.
Just get Vanity Pass on Nelson here and try and put 2 touchdowns on Emily, and then you're actually firing with all cylinders.
Yep. Antler Hill has had just sort of a rough go of it because he just hasn't been in a position to get any action in most of his
Kickoff
games.
events do not like this Minotaur at all.
No. But
and he's just like his team's cursed, man. Like his last game was just like there was nothing he could have done. He's playing Chaos, which is already a team that like it's not very nice to you. He's gonna beat you up as like you're gonna fail a lot as low TV Chaos, and with that. He is also just failing everything he tries to do on the dice. Like
it's like not even the normal chaos failures that are getting him.
Yeah.
It's like it's fucking sweltering heat and shit.
Yep.
his like Blodge Minotaur getting removed on like turn 3. Like that sort of shit's happening to him.
By the way, Sweltering Heat was also part of why the game I had versus Furl stayed even. Sweltering Heat did not like mummies. Oh god, that was intense. Sweltering Heat, as much as people fucking hate it, it does make for some bizarrely intense games sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why they have it there. I just understand people hating it too.
Yeah, this is just like that 80s high variance design.
Yep. Let's
talk
find
about
Rusty.
some leaderboard shit.
Nope, Rusty.
Oh yes, Rusty. I'm required to talk about Rusty.
Yeah.
No, we talked about Rusty.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, you talked about Rusty.
I ragged on this AV8 flesh column for
Okay,
minutes.
I'm punchy as hell. Let's talk about the leaderboard. Well, poor Antler Hill is just, he has not had a good go of it. But otherwise, I'd say
the chaos curse is getting him.
Yeah, this is a case of medium chaos starts just don't get you there in a league like this unless they just explode.
It's a tighter div. There's more people that are like definitely still in it. Like I think this one goes down to like 7th for still definitely live.
Yeah, Monaco and I are out. Like we haven't been able to get there with what we're doing.
It's gonna be uphill for you guys. Like you're like as in it as Crate and Denizen, but odds are good unless something shakes really funny that it's them that will make it and not you.
Yeah, I'd say Crate and Denizen are in a case where they need one of the top teams to just get tanked and they need to win out, but they both have teams that can win out. Yeah, I don't know if I can win out. Like, I feel like my team it's got a pretty good likely to have a winning record, but it also is really likely to draw. Like, I've had a bunch of draws that just go badly. Moniker
is a lot of draws in this div.
Moniker could just have elf things happen for him, but it's Moniker. His dice are average, and that's not good enough for winning out with elves.
It's like a full 11% draws in this div.
Yeah. Rusty is definitely still in contention. Like, he's still got a very solid Necro team right there.
Yeah, I need his next games against Furl, and I need Furl to beat him badly.
Yep.
Because he's gonna overtake me.
Are goblins with the winning record. Holy shit.
Yes, he is.
And no draws.
How is that happening?
I don't know.
You're the goblin, man.
Hey man, I've been luck. I'm not gonna be pretending that I'm not playing well, because I am. I really like how I'm positioning my guys. I really like how I'm using my movements. But I also just have been extremely lucky on getting my armor broken.
Sometimes you need that.
Yeah, that's what has been making me be able to win games, is because like it's been hard for people to remove my goblins out of the game.
Formula for playoffs is luck plus skill.
Yep. It is a way to win games. Then at the top...
Anybody got anything else to add?
I mean, I want to say that Hiroshia, despite the fact that he started off the div losing his best piece, is pretty solidly in the top contention.
One. Yep.
And then we got Gundayak and Furl, or Gnatic rather, doing real good.
Yeah, Furl could be even better. He's the game that hasn't played this week.
Yep. So, and that's against Rusty. Oh, that's actually...
Yep.
That is a case where that game matters a lot, because that either rockets Rusty up to a really solid record, or puts Furl...
drops him down there with you guys, yeah.
Yeah, into the mix.
That's
good.
I need Rusty to lose this game. If he's listening right now, Rusty, please suck.
Wow.
Well, I think we're going to wrap it, because I am definitely punchy, and this has been a really good way to see where everybody's at in the middle of GROONBOWL.
Yeah, man. Good recap, guys. This has been Randomest Namus here with Kyle, Tim, and Prozog.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Have a good one, gents.